Hi everyone! Today we are going to read a book called Wet and Dry. This is a book about opposites. Do you remember what opposites are? Are they the same or are they different? They are different. So in this book we're going to learn about wet, so animals that live in water, and we're going to learn about dry, so animals that live on land where it's not wet. So let's get started. Some animals get wet swimming in the ocean. Others stay dry on desert sand. Let's learn about wet and dry by looking at animals around the world. Wet. Green turtles live in the wet ocean. They swim from place to place looking for food. Dry. Desert tortoises live in the dry desert. They carry their shells along on the hot sand. Wet. Lionfish live in the wet ocean. Like other fish, they breathe underwater. Dry. Camels walk miles through the dry desert without taking a drink. Wet. Fishing cats get wet when they hunt for food. Dry. Sand cats curl up in the dry desert sand. They chase after the food at night. Wet. Octopuses are wet animals. They have 8 long arms. Can we count the arms together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's the 8th one hiding way back there. And dry animals. The veiled chameleon have dry, humpy skin, so they don't live in water. Wet. Hippos are happy to be wet. They even sleep in the water. Dry. Gorillas try to stay dry. These rainforest giants can't swim. Wet. Lobsters crawl on the wet ocean floor. Dry. Desert scorpions scamper across dry, rocky land. Wet. Loons are usually wet. They spend most of their time swimming in lakes. Dry. Speedy roadrunners run across the dry desert. Wet. Bottlenose dolphins are wet mammals. Water rolls off their smooth skin. Dry. Short-nosed fruit bats are mammals too. They try to stay dry. Wet. Beavers have to get wet. The entrance to their home is underwater. Dry. Kangaroo rats take dry baths. They use dust instead of water to clean themselves. Wet. Lizards often get wet. These lizards can run on water. Dry. Desert horned lizards like to stay warm. They stand in the sun on dry desert sand. Wet. Water spiders get wet living in ponds. Tarantulas are spiders too. Many tarantulas live in dry areas. Some animals live in wet oceans. Others swim in lakes. Some animals crawl on dry rocks. Others run across dry sand. What kind of wet and dry animals live near you? Can you think about that? What wet and dry animals live near you? Think about a time that you have visited a pond or the lake or the ocean. What kind of animals do you see in the water? And think about when you go to the park or even looking out your window at the trees and the grass. What kind of animals do you see that are dry? There are lots of wet and dry animals everywhere you look. Thanks for reading the book with me today. Goodbye.